To be the best in Formula Apex, you need to be fast. If you're a beginner or you're just unable to set the fastest laps, then you have a skill issue. However, before you click off this video disappointed, here are 7 tips that will make you faster in Formula Apex. First, let's talk about controls. Keyboards can set decent laps. The issue is that it's definitely not the best or optimal control, as it depends on you accurately pushing keys to maneuver the car. Most people who use this control struggle to get consistent laps, which is why I recommend using a controller or a mouse. The controller is engineered well to help you set better laps. I mean, it's literally the most used device to play most genre of games. What's even more convenient is that controllers work on Roblox. So if you have one that you use for other games and you're good at using those other controllers, it could be the same case for Formula Apex. Then we have mouse controls. It's true that it's mostly used by the fastest Roblox racers, but honestly, those controls are more for games like Ion, in my opinion. It's not as easy to master as a controller, as it requires one hand on the keyboard and the other hand to steer the mouse. Unlike a controller where you use both hands on the controller to do things, and it's more stable than using a mouse. Now, most people nowadays probably play Roblox on their mobile devices, which probably include a lot of you watching this video. I don't really recommend the default button layout. It's even harder to use than a keyboard. I even wonder how people are even good at using these controls. Let me know in the comments if you're one of those people. The slider layout is a pretty good option and seems to do the job better. However, I'd recommend probably trying to connect a controller to your phone, which I'm pretty sure is possible with maybe Bluetooth or some kind of wired controller. Personally, my phone isn't powerful enough to play the game, so I get a lot of lag. So honestly, the best way to play Project Apex is you gotta make sure you have a decent phone that can handle it. Visibility is another important factor. I mean, you need to see where you're going. So I recommend going to the camera settings and customizing your camera settings and maybe adding some FOV. Doing that kind of makes the car feels like it's going faster. Personally, I use these settings right now on screen if you want to try those for yourself. And for the tryhards you drive in the cockpit cam, I recommend removing the hands so that you can see better and also adding up some height and FOV. This video is sponsored by our partners at INV Works. These guys make amazing UGC accessories including helmets, hats, radio headsets and tons more. These products are high quality and at a very affordable price. Get some incredible UGCs at their Roblox store. The link will be in the description. Learn every track. Even the pros take a bit of time to practice the new tracks when they are released on Formula Apex. If you're a total beginner, I recommend turning on the racing line, as it gives you a good idea of where to place the car and where to brake. Obviously, some tracks are more difficult than others, so perhaps start with the easier tracks, and once you gain experience, challenge yourself to the more difficult tracks. You can eventually remove the racing line, as it can eventually feel like it's restricting you from pushing the limits, but there's no real harm in leaving them there. And of course, practice makes perfect. Being slow isn't actually only having a skill issue. It can also be the car you're driving. I mean, even if you have decent pace, if you are in a stock Alpine racing against a fully upgraded Red Bull, don't expect to be overtaking him on the track. As in real life, Red Bull has displayed in 2023, having the faster car will make you win races even if some of the other opponents are highly skilled. I recommend every time you buy a new car, you should fully upgrade it before continuing to attempt to beat others on the track. However, you must also know that a fully upgraded Red Bull is still faster than your fully upgraded Alpine. So the next best step is to aim for that car, the Red Bull car, or one of the top teams, and fully upgrade it, of course, just to be safe. So next time you encounter that try-hard Red Bull driver, you can beat him on track with your superior driving skills, thanks to the advice you got from the coolest Formula Apex YouTuber. Believe it or not, manual transmission will always be faster than automatic, and not surprisingly, it requires more skill to use. So if it's harder, why should you even learn it? Well, Manual gears allow you to do things you can't in automatic. You can control when you gear up and gear down, which can save you crucial tenths, and you can use the forbidden engine brake technique, which will reduce the amount of time you need to brake, which will allow you to outbrake your opponents. However, do know that this requires a lot of skill, and that's probably the reason why there's only a few people who set the world record lap times. Graphics are pretty important when it comes to being faster. I mean, can you really set the world record at 1 FPS with 4K graphics? If you have a beast PC or fast computer, you're probably fine. However, for lower end devices, it's better to try and find the best middle ground. Most cases, it's better to prioritize higher FPS so that you can set the world record smoothly. 60 FPS should be good for what you need. One way to increase FPS is to lower the graphics. One way to do that is to go to the Roblox settings and lower it like so, but you can also mess around with the settings over here if you want to try and maximize the FPS you can get. And that's honestly it for my 7 tips that should help you become faster in Formula Apex. If you want to become even faster, well, there are some YouTubers who make world record hot lap videos, and if you want, I will link a few of those in the description if you are interested in learning more. And of course, if you've got any tips for yourself, comment them down below. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. If you have enjoyed this video, do make sure to like and subscribe. Consider becoming a YouTube member or sending a super thanks to support the channel. And thanks to Creeperman, Meta Studios, and Mr. Dilophosaurus for being ultimate members.